Welcome to Bonsai and Beer. One of the most difficult bonsai that I have heard about and tried to attempt is a root over rock bonsai. I started one last year and I've already made a few mistakes. So today is going to be about facing those mistakes and fixing it, hopefully. Also, I've got a really delicious Texas Kolsh, which is made from solar energy and amazing Texans. Kolsch is one of my favorite styles of beers. The reason it exists, as I understand, is because when the Germans brewed the Oktoberfest beer, they didn't want to wait till October to drink it. So they made, at the same time, a recipe called Kolsch. And it's a recipe you can get if you're brewing your own beer, and it tastes very similar to any of the Kolsches that you would get. And they would make that recipe at the same time as they made the Oktoberfest, and then they could drink it in the summer. It's a delicious, crisp beer. It's simple, but with great flavors. They usually use a crystal malt. Like I said, the recipe is pretty consistent. It's a very consistent taste. It's not like with IPAs where you have a hazy IPA and a juicy IPA and all of these different IPAs and who knows what they taste like. When you're getting a Kolsch, you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be light. It's going to be crisp. It's going to have an Eastern European style yeast. It's going to be just the right amount of beer flavors with something very special in it. This particular brewery is extra special. They are saying that they brew it with solar power and people power, of course, because you need people to make beer. There's a conservancy as well that's established with this beer. I don't understand the ins and outs and all of this. But what I can tell you is that this Wild Texas Kolsh with the blue bonnet on the can and the little Texas Farm Road sign is extremely drinkable. It is not overpowerful as far as alcohol goes. It is a well-made solid Kolsh. I've been drinking this for a couple of weeks now. The color is just about perfect. It's not over hoppy, it's not over sweet, it's not over dry. It's just exactly what a Kolsch should be. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to the problem child. These are my Chinese tallow trees. I gathered them in the wild. This one is growing amazingly. I put a curve in the trunk. This one I decided to do as a root over rock style. I'm using these Chinese tallow to practice some bonsai techniques. They've caught a little bit of brown spot. It's not growing as good as I wanted it to. I think that the roots are getting trapped in this sort of small pot. A lot of them are wrapped around this rock here, but the pot is too small. And so I'm learning a lot here. I don't really know how to do root over rock. I just read the stuff in a book. So I want to take everything out of this. I want to put it into this pot, and we're going to see if the roots are grabbing on. I didn't put soil the way I was supposed to. I got my new soil all ready. So let's go ahead and take this thing out. So after removing the supports that have been holding it up for the better part of a year, you got to stick your finger in this hole and kind of suss it out. Now, I don't know what I'm going to get when I open this thing up, but look at this. The roots have wrapped totally around the pot. It's not totally root bound in the sense that it's soaked up all the dirt, but this plant definitely needs somewhere to go. This tree is trying to expand. I think that's what's making the leaves kind of constricted at the top. And so I'm gonna have to gently break these roots out of this dirt. I also had previously used the wrong soil. It was too much potting mix. There was not enough peat moss in there. Not enough rock in there. So my new soil mix is better, but I'm just gently letting things fall out. And I realize at this point that I need to dunk it in the water to really let everything get out gently. So you dunk the roots in the water and you suss them out super gently, and you can see how long these roots really were. And this is a much more natural form now. The dirt is off, the roots are going straight down. This also works as a really good root lengthening technique. If you've got a plant where you want the roots to be longer, you can place it on a rock like this and they will grow out. It made me consider even making these roots longer, but now what I've got to do is get the tape off and see how the roots are adhering to the rock. I don't think they'll adhere very well. Later, after the initial reading of the book, I saw that I was supposed to have rubbed dirt all over the rock so that the roots would really, dig in there. And I found out when I take this tape off that the tree is just going to fall right off the rock. But it was successful at lengthening the roots, which was good. So what I need to do is wrap the thing back up, this time not in plastic tape, wrap it around the same rock with a gauze, because the gauze can decay. It's also a little bit stretchy, so it will keep the plant on there, but it will breathe better and it will decay over time naturally. And I'm going to leave it on there for probably another year and then plant it in a larger pot so that the tree can grow bigger and the root system can get more complex. Shout out to everybody watching the channel. Thank you so much. Please remember to like and subscribe. I'm going to try and keep up this weekly content. In the comments, tell me some things you would like to see me try. Tell me some things you see that I did wrong. Tell me your experiences. I really want to interact with you guys, get back, bring you stuff that you would like to see, maybe a beer you'd like to see reviewed, or different information about beers that you like. Once again, thanks everybody for being here. We'll be back next week with more bonsai and beer.